Okay, so you want to make sure you mix these up really good. Dig down deep and get all that sugar and flour and salt and everything and get it all evenly distributed. And unfortunately, my kids aren't here. When they were little, they kept coming over and grabbing into here and eating those cinnamony, sugary apple pieces, but I have nobody here to do that except the cameraman. All right, so we're going to set that aside for a minute, and we're going to prepare our pie crust, which, as I said, when I say prepare, I mean take it out of the package. Save some time here. And if you take these right out of the refrigerator, you want to make sure that you leave them out to get at room temperature, or you can always put them in the microwave. Sometimes I do it for about maybe 10 seconds. You don't want to melt it. You just cut these open and roll them out carefully. This one is sticking. Just want to make sure. For a 9-inch plate, that's a good size. Okay, what I'm going to do is, again, so this doesn't stick to the bottom, I tend to just sprinkle a little bit of flour on the bottom of there. Lay that in there. If your pie plate is bigger than what the crust is, you can always roll the pie crust out a little bit to fit, but you don't want to make it get too thin. Alright, so that's prepared, and kind of push that all down inside there. And we take our apples, and as I said, I like to make a pie that is mounding with apples. So we're going to carefully spread that around, get it nice and even, not have any pockets in there. More. Alright. Keep on going. Get all that. And if your kids haven't eaten too much of the filling when you weren't looking, you should have a nice, big, mounded pie here, which is good. Yum. Alright, now I'm going to do a little Paula Deen. A little butter. We like butter. So you're going to take some butter and just kind of dot this around the top. Little slices. That's going to mix in with all your sugar and your flour and spices and help make that all nice and gooey and yummy inside. One more over there. Actually, I missed a spot there. One for good measure. Okay, now it's time to put the top on. Open up this other one. Make this very easy to open, did they? And roll this out again. I'm going to give this a little roll because I want to make sure it's big enough on the top to make my crust edges so the filling doesn't go spilling out during the cooking process and go all over the bottom of your oven and cause it to burn and smoke up the house. Trust me, it's happened before. Alright, so you're going to lay that on the top and try to get it all evenly spread out there. And then I just take these and fold them over and pinch it. So you're creating a seal around the entire pie. Just keep turning it. Fold it over, pinch it closed. We're almost there. Now I've preheated my oven to 400. So while that's heating over there, and then I'm just going to make that little standard pie crust design, which you're just taking one finger, sticking it there, and you're pinching this around it. Everybody learned that in home ec class, right? Good old home ec. I have fond memories of home ec at Maple Heights, West Junior High. One of our first cooking experiments with the whole group. They put us into groups. Somebody mistakenly put tablespoons instead of teaspoons of baking powder, which of course helps things rise. And whatever our bread was, it was probably banana bread, went all over in the oven, and it was burning and smoking out, and the teacher's like, who made that? Whose oven is this? And we're like, it wasn't me. Alright, now, here's where you can make your designs, and I'm just going to make a little heart with my knife. You want to make some little vents in the pie crust to let the steam escape. And you can get creative with these. I've made pies for birthdays that say I love you or happy birthday, and you can take as much time as you want with that. But for the sake of today, we're going to make a couple little designs that way, a couple little designs this way. There you go. One there. And we've got even designs all around it. Isn't that pretty? Alright, now I'm just going to take a little bit of cinnamon sugar. I have one of these little containers always ready up in there because my one daughter, Kaylee, likes to eat cinnamon toast. So you just mix some cinnamon and sugar, and you're just going to sprinkle that lightly on the top. It's going to help give it a little color and some browning. And that's it. Voila. We are ready to go. We're going to put this in the oven. And I also, just a hint, I put a baking pan underneath my underneath where you're going to put the pie on the top rack, because in case this does happen to bubble over for any reason, you want to catch that so it doesn't go all over the bottom of your oven. And I find this really handy. I used to just take tin foil and cut little strips and cover the ends of the crust, because those tend to brown quicker than the rest of this part. So I found these in the store. They're really cheap and affordable, so get a couple of them and you just can lay that on your pie. And this is supposed to bake for 50 minutes. Start around 40 minutes, reach in there, take this off with a hot pad so you don't burn your hands, and then let it bake for the rest of the 10 minutes, and it'll be all nice evenly crusted, and you'll get that nice chewy crust that's nice to have in a pie. So I'm going to stick this in the oven, and then we'll show you the results when it comes out. Okay, we're going to check on our pie. Been in there for about a good half an hour. It's got about 20 minutes to go. Got our nice protector on there, keeping that crust nice and moist and chewy instead of getting too brown or burnt. And this is getting a nice flaky crust on it right now. So looking good. Close that back up. And we're going to take that out, put it on a rack to cool in a little while. We're going to have a fabulous dessert tonight. All right. It's time to check on this pie again. We're down to the last 10 minutes. This is starting to get a nice light brown. I'm going to take off that little crust saver, and we're going to let that go for another 10 minutes. And then take it out. Voila! It's time to take our pie out. Look at that. Awesome. It's beautifully brown. Perfect. We're going to set that on a nice trivet, and it's going to cool down, and by the time my company is done with dinner, it's going to be that nice warm apple pie with some ice cream.
Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Who's that young girl dressed in red? Wade in the water. Must be the children that Moses led. God's gonna trouble the water. Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Who's that young girl dressed in white? Wade in the water. Must be the children